Hello everyone and welcome to MagicGatheringStrat. I'm Binkabi and this will be the top 10 list for the green cards in Modern. This list was actually pretty hard because green has a lot of quality cards, a lot to choose from. But there's few cards that is like Lightning Bolt or stuff like that that's just universally good. Many of the green cards has a supporting role or it needs to be supported, and it's not that great as a standalone card. So we'll check out the list. Stay with me here. Number 10. Glistener Elf. Yes, I put the Infect card in the list. I mean, if you're looking at your opening 7, you're considering, well, if they have a pretty fast start, I could potentially get there if I draw removal, and they open with like Green Source Glistener Elf. You know you're dead in 2 turns. You won't get to draw that removal spell probably. It's just so fierce and so fast. I just have to put it here because of the fact that it is basically a 1-mana 2/2 that doubles the effect of all pump spells that it gets. It's just stupid if you think about it. Number 9. Garrick Wilde Speaker. Yeah, I know this card. It doesn't see much play, but it is a really good planeswalker. It works well with the ramp strategies. It's a win condition. Getting to the ultimate is pretty easy. I think we'll get to see more Garrick Wilde Speaker running around in Modern pretty soon here, because I think green might just have a bit of a revelation. I'm not sure about that, but it feels like it could have. Going big is pretty nice, and being able to untap lands that do something great or just adds 2 mana like the Karoo lands, it's just really good, and you shouldn't underestimate Garrick Wilde Speaker. Number 8. Beast Within. I like this card a lot because it does something that green can do, but it's not that it destroys non-creature permanents that is the great part about it. It's that it could destroy a creature too. They do get a 3/3, but that's probably worse than what they had, and this also gives you an extra turn to do whatever you was going to do. It could also work. I've actually played Living End against Jund before Barber Elf was banned, and it was game 2, so I had like Kitchen Finks in the deck. I tried them out, so I went like Kitchen Finks, and he played Slaughter Games and named my Living Ends. So alright, so I actually beat him to death with Kitchen Finks, and in response to his removal, I Beast Within my own Kitchen Finks several times, so I ended up with a lot of creatures and could win that way. That's another good thing about the Beast Within. You could just ambush a Geist of Sintrath or whatever that they're not counting on. So it's a good card. Good to know about. Number 7. Obstinate Bailout. There is Thragtusk as well, but this is... It does almost the same, but for a mana cheaper, and it also has that discard part in it, which is more relevant than you might realize. So I like the card a lot. It could have been Thragtusk, but I chose to go with the Obstinate Bailout instead. I wouldn't fault anyone from playing Thragtusk over it. It's just 1 mana, but that could be... It kind of depends on what your deck is trying to do in general, I think. But Bailout is a solid sideboard card, solid mainboard card. It's just great overall, and one of the few cards that is just good at its own in this list. Number 6. Golgari Grave Troll. We haven't seen a list yet, but I'm positive it will come. In contrary to the Bitter Blossom unbanning, I think this guy has a real potential, because Bitter Blossom just added some degree of power to an already existing deck that was... It didn't really change anything. Whereas Golgari Grave Troll actually enables the graveyard deck to be really good. So I think we can expect to see a lot of Golgari Grave Trolls running around, and Dredging 6 is pretty strong. So that's why it's on the list. Number 5. Primeval Titan. I think it has to be here, even though it's more or less a combo deck card than anything else. But just the fact that if you're playing like Scapeshift or something and they're trying to stop you from winning with Scapeshift, and you drop a Primeval Titan, it's like, do I counter it and let you untap and play Scapeshift, or do I try to beat the Primeval Titan? I mean, it's a 6/6 trample, it's a very fast clock. It just gives another angle to those decks that is pretty unmatched. And I've always been a bit skeptical about the searching land part. If you're not like a combo deck, it's pretty bad. But if you're ramping into a Primeval Titan to ramp into more big stuff, it's actually pretty good anyway. So it's a good card, obviously. Place number 4, Scapeshift. Demands some amount of work. Mainly you have to give it time and lands, and then you win the game. It's a pretty good ratio there. It's nothing more really to say about it. I mean, we all know how it works. You sacrifice your lands, go grab Valakut and Mountains, and then you win the game. But it really is a unique card for the color. There's not that many other green combo cards, so it has to be on the list for sure, and I think number 4 is a decent spot to be in. Number 3, Noble Hierarch. I was considering to put Birds of Paradise into the list, but Noble Hierarch is just so much better in basically every other way. It costs the same and it does the same job, but it also adds some offense to the mix, which Birds of Paradise certainly does not. And even though this doesn't add black or red, it's not that usual that you're playing green, red, or green, black, or a mix of those colors, and are trying to have the fast mana. I mean, it's not that likely. So Noble Hierarch is just a lot better, and another really good 1-drop for decks to have access to. Number 2, Scavenging Use. This card kills me so often. It just shuts down all my good strategies and value cards in the graveyard and then just crush me. I like the card a lot. I think it's really a defining card for Modern because it's a good beater. It's really good in the creature mirrors, and it gives the creature decks a way to attack the unfair decks with the graveyard strategies, even from the main. So I think the Commander boxes gave the format a solid addition here with this card. I really like Scavenging Use and what it does in the format. Some honorable mentions. There was a few. I chose those 3. Life from the Loam, a bad picture I know, but I think you know what the card does. If Dredge becomes a thing, Life from the Loam will definitely be one of the main strategies. You will just grind them down, Seismic Assault, Tectonic Edges, Ghost Quarters. You can do basically whatever you want. You will win the long game for sure. And just being able to hit your land drops could be a thing. So Life from the Loam will probably get see more play. Thrawn the Last Troll is also one of those cards that's pretty narrow, but when it's good, it's just really good. If you're playing against like Jeskai with all their mana leaks and cryptics, and they're keeping 4 mana up, they skip their turn to counter whatever you're gonna do, and you land a Thrawn. That's hard to beat. It's so hard to beat. It's just a 4/4, but it can't be countered. It has hexproof, and it can be regenerated, so it's really hard to get rid of. It carries swords very well too, which is a thing. And of course I added Birds of Paradise. I mean, it's hard to neglect one of the very best 1-drops in the game. Being able to ramp into any color from turn 2 and forward is pretty nice. So for my top pick, I don't really like to have it as the top pick right now, but I think it's still pretty good to have there. It's Tarmogoyf. Now, with all the delve cards out of the way, I think Tarmogoyf will have an upswing again. Just being the biggest creature on the board is pretty significant, and this sheep as well. It's just unmatched by any other Magic card. Maybe that new black card, Tassiger, the Man Boy or whatever. Probably not the Man Boy, but that's what it looks like. That might be something equivalent to this, but you cannot play him on turn 2. That's just not realistic. So Tarmogoyf being an aggressive 2-drop, dodges most of the removal that's used, mainly lightning bolts and electrolyzers and stuff, and just being that big for that mana cost is just such an edge in the format that I think he deserves to be the number 1, even though Scavenger Use potentially will beat him, depending on when they come down and how much mana is available. Something to keep an eye open for. So this concludes the green and all the mono cards actually. I will proceed as soon as I have time, probably on Sunday or Monday or whatever, with the next couple of videos, which will be multicolors and artifacts. I might do a hybrid list as well, because there is a lot of hybrid cards too. Probably not, but we will see. And actually it won't be artifacts, it will be colorless cards. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for the next part of this series. Thanks for watching.